Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bachelorette spoilers. Who goes home after fantasy suite dates? Jen Tran's season of The Bachelorette ends next week, but not before she spends the night with her remaining 3 suitors. Who goes home after fantasy suite dates? If you don't want to know what happens next on The Bachelorette, stop reading now. This post is full of spoilers. Bachelor Nation alum returns to advise Jen. The Bachelorette doubles up with 2 episodes this week to get to the conclusion before Monday Night Football takes over the schedule. A regular episode airs on Monday, August 26, followed by the Men Tell All special on Tuesday, August 27. Jen Tran sent Jeremy Simon home last week after a disastrous meeting with his family, especially his mom. That left Devin Strader, Jonathan Johnson, and Marcus Sjoberg. Jen and her final 3 men head to Hawaii for the fantasy suite dates and the final 2 rose ceremonies. Jen reunites with Bachelor Nation alum Molly Mesnick in Hawaii. The season 13 Bachelor runner-up and wife of Jason Mesnick has some advice to share with Jen ahead of the 3 overnight dates. Overnight date order. The fantasy suite dates almost always bring the drama and the tears. Zach Shallcross recently addressed the constant questions he gets from Bachelor Nation fans about what went down in his fantasy suite with Rachel Recchia on season 19 of The Bachelorette. Blogger Reality Steve has been sharing inside info on the franchise since Jason Mesnick's season. He was the first to report that Jason dumped his fiancée, Melissa Rycroft, for his runner-up Molly. Reality Steve wasn't sure of the exact order of the overnight dates, but according to his sources, Devin Strader got the last fantasy suite date. Bachelorette spoilers. Who goes home after fantasy suite dates? ABC dropped a preview of the upcoming episode that seemed to hint that Jen Tran's declarations of love weren't reciprocated by one or more of her final 3 men. Fans already think Marcus Sjoberg isn't in love with Jen. Is he the one going home? According to Reality Steve's intel, Marcus Sjoberg does receive a rose after the fantasy suite dates. He's one of the 2 finalists. Who is the other one? Frontrunner Devin Strader is the other contestant who gets a rose, leaving Jonathan Johnson as the one going home after the overnight dates. But fans will have to tune in to see if tonight's episode ends on a cliffhanger, with the elimination airing during the Men Tell All on Tuesday night. Viewers know how much the franchise loves to end on a cliffhanger. Rachel Recchia will make an appearance at the MTA special. As the golden sun sets on yet another whirlwind season of The Bachelorette the road to love has reached its most dramatic stage, the fantasy suite dates. Hearts are at stake, and love teeters on the edge of promises made and broken. With the final 3 men vying for our Bachelorette's heart, the question looms large. Who will be sent home, their dreams of romance dashed? The journey has been long, filled with group dates, dramatic rose ceremonies, and countless whispered, "I think I'm falling in love with you" moments. But now, with the intimacy of the fantasy suites just ahead, emotions are at an all-time high. The stakes, even higher. Each of the remaining men, let's call them James, Noah, and Ben, has built a unique connection with the Bachelorette. And this week, all of them are banking on the fantasy suite dates to deepen those bonds. Yet only 2 will move forward. Hashtag the spark with James. Chemistry or convenience. James, a suave real estate mogul with a dazzling smile, has been a frontrunner since day 1. His confident swagger caught the Bachelorette's attention early on, and he's consistently proven himself to be a solid contender. The connection between them has been undeniable, fiery, passionate, and full of flirty banter. But as the fantasy suites approach, the question arises, is their spark a sign of true compatibility, or is it merely the result of physical attraction? During their fantasy suite date, James pulls out all the stops. He takes her on a thrilling helicopter ride over the coast, the wind whipping through their hair as they gaze at the ocean below. After landing on a private beach, they sip champagne as the sun sinks into the horizon. painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. The night is sensual and romantic, and their chemistry is palpable. But as the evening progresses, doubts begin to surface. In the intimate setting of the fantasy suite, they finally have the chance to talk without the cameras. It's in these quiet moments that the Bachelorette starts to wonder if their connection goes beyond the physical. James has always been smooth and charming, but is there enough emotional depth to sustain a long-term relationship? Can she see him being more than just the guy who's great for a fun night out? As the fantasy suite night ends, the Bachelorette is left with questions lingering in her mind. James has always been the safe choice, the one who makes her feel desired and attractive. But will that be enough when she's looking for a lifelong partner? She's not so sure. Hashtag Noah, the unexpected dark horse. Noah, the sensitive artist, has been an underdog for most of the season. He's not as flashy as James or as confident as Ben, but he has a quiet depth that has slowly captivated the Bachelorette. Over time, Noah has opened up about his vulnerabilities, sharing stories of heartache and dreams of finding a soulmate who truly understands him. Their fantasy suite date is a stark contrast to James's flashy beach adventure. Noah plans an intimate, low-key evening that revolves around connection rather than spectacle. They stroll through a quaint village, hand in hand, stopping at a cozy cafe for coffee and pastries. He shows her his sketchbook, revealing intricate drawings that depict their journey together. She's touched by the thoughtfulness and artistry he brings to their relationship. As they enter the fantasy suite, the night takes on an air of intimacy that goes far beyond the physical. They talk for hours, sharing hopes, fears, and insecurities. Noah is vulnerable in a way that the other men haven't been, and it moves the Bachelorette deeply. She begins to see a future with him that she hadn't anticipated. There's something comforting and real about their connection, something that feels like it could last. But the doubts aren't entirely gone. Noah is different from the other men she's dated in the past. He's not the flashy, outgoing type she's usually attracted to. Is their bond strong enough to overcome those differences? Or is she simply drawn to his emotional depth in the moment? Hashtag Ben, the ultimate bachelor. Then there's Ben, the all-American former football player with a heart of gold. He's been a steady, unwavering presence throughout the season, always there with a supportive word or a reassuring hug. His confidence has never wavered, and he's made it clear that he's ready for marriage and commitment. For the Bachelorette, Ben represents stability and security, everything she says she wants in a partner. Their fantasy suite date is straight out of a rom-com. Ben surprises her with a horseback ride through a lush valley, followed by a candlelit dinner under the stars. They laugh, they flirt, and everything seems perfect. As they enter the fantasy suite, the Bachelorette can't help but feel that Ben might be the one. He's got the looks, the charm, and the heart. What more could she want?